Last week, Fox News political commentator Tucker Carlson alleged that the National Security Agency has been reading his emails and has been surveilling him in an attempt to undermine his credibility. Now, I took this with a grain of salt because he didn't come with receipts, he didn't come with any hard proof. He just had a source on the inside that told him that this was the case. However, the NSA issued its official response, and I found it to be very interesting, and I think that you might as well. The NSA said, Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency, and the NSA has never had any plans to take his program off the air. Now, the way that they worded that is very interesting and very telling. They never claimed in this statement to not have read his emails. They just say he's never been an intelligence target of the agency. You gotta keep in mind that this statement was undoubtedly drafted by lawyers who knew exactly what they could and could not say. Think about Bill Clinton coming out and saying, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Well, no, he didn't have sex with Monica Lewinsky, but we all know what she was doing under the desk. You can be very careful with your words, and what you choose to say or not say in instances like this is very telling. They did not say that they are not reading his emails, and people believe this as well. Here's a Rasmussen poll. They do a lot of public opinion polling. Government spying on journalists? Most voters think so. A new national telephone and online survey by Rasmussen Reports, sponsored by the Ron Coleman and Coleman Nation, finds that 59% of likely U.S. voters believe that it is at least somewhat likely that the U.S. government spies on critical journalists and political opponents, including 36% who think it's very likely. 21% of voters don't think it's likely that the government is spying on opponents, and 20% are not sure. So, the NSA says that Tucker wasn't a target, but most people in the United States think that the National Security Agency, the FBI, and the CIA are engaging in politically motivated spying on American citizens. And why might they think this? Well, let's turn to this important piece of testimony.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
All right.
So what you just watched was Senator Ron Wyden. He's a Democrat, and he has served on the Intelligence Committee of the Senate for more than a dozen years, grilling the Director of National Intelligence, General Clapper, about the existence of mass surveillance programs. Now, the story here is that Ron Wyden was read into the classified documents, and he knew for a fact that the National Security Agency was performing mass surveillance of the metadata of every American's phone call records, of their internet usage. But he knew that he could not publicize this information, and he actually provided a list of the questions that he was going to ask to Director of National Intelligence Clapper the day before. So Clapper knew that this question was coming, and yet, man, don't play poker with this guy. He has the biggest tell on earth. He lies through his teeth. The next day, Wyden's office sends a letter to Clapper's office saying, we know you're lying, you know you're lying, here's an offer to go back, and we're not going to drag you in front of the press and embarrass you, but for the record, correct your statement, because both parties know it's false. Director of National Intelligence Clapper refuses to do so, and the folks who were really hoping that the truth would be brought to light here, people who had some inkling of what was going on, were very disappointed, and in a matter of weeks after that, Edward Snowden released the information that provided clear proof that the National Security Agency was in fact surveilling every American, and that they had the power to extra-constitutionally and warrantlessly surveil everybody in the country. So was Tucker Carlson the victim of specific national security agency scrutiny? I don't know. Will we ever know? Unless Edward Snowden Part 2's in there, we won't know. That being said, do I think that it's altogether likely that he was? Probably. And the American people, according to Rasmussen, agree.